biggest year maybe rapping, I found out the same year that my son has autism. He went from being very verbal to just start deteriorating. Like he stopped talking. Takes a toll on me though because I'm not there. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like for me to be such a great dad, I should be there. Mm-hmm. I think he's autistic, so it's always gonna be harder for him. Mm-hmm. So I did everything that I'm doing to make life easier for him. Yeah. And it's still gonna be harder for him. Sure. So that rubbed me wrong too. But yeah, everybody gonna have the best of the best.
One of the most heartbreaking realizations when you have a child on the spectrum is knowing that you can't always be there. Whether you're on the road and you have to travel for work, or whether you work long evenings or weekends, just knowing that you can't be there for your child is one of the most heartbreaking experiences. Additionally, autistic kids thrive off of routine and predictability. So when dad comes home every single day at 5 o'clock, or mom comes home every single day at 5 o'clock, that right there is gonna make the child's day, and it's also gonna help to regulate their nervous system. Autism means that the way that an individual communicates with the world is a little different from how a neurotypical individual will communicate with the world. So because of this, they will need some type of external support. And as you can see in the clip, he said that it's always gonna be harder for his son because he has autism. In some ways, that is true. When you're autistic, you will need some type of support in order to thrive, to first survive and then to thrive. It's not possible, but you're gonna have to have that support. A big part of that support is having your parents around, because we all know who will look after you as well as your parents. Parents, caregivers, aunties and uncles, siblings, people who know the individual and know how that person communicates. Those people, those main 5 to 8 people, when you have those people around, it's gonna make you feel better. It's gonna help you communicate better. And this will improve your confidence. Earlier in the clip, Big X the Plug was talking about his son having some difficulty talking. He was talking at first, forming words, and then he started to have some issues. We call this type of thing skill regression. You see this a lot in autistic individuals, where you may learn a skill or 2 or 3, and all of a sudden, you no longer have that skill. It could be verbal. So you could be producing a couple of words. You might not be making full-on sentences, but you'll be talking a little bit, and as you experience skill regression, it can be hard to speak at all. So you could be nonverbal after having a couple of words. We also see skill regression in autistic adults. So whether you've gone through a breakup, or you lost a job, or you've experienced something traumatic, or maybe life just became hard for you, you could regress with your skills. So this could mean that you were an excellent cook or chef and used to cook Thanksgiving dinners for everybody. You would make dinner every single night, and now you physically cannot cook. Making a simple mac and cheese meal, or the most basic meal, chicken and rice, you can't make that meal anymore. And this is devastating for your confidence, because when you're autistic, you know that you need external support from other people. So the more autonomous you can be, the better. For the autistic child who's experiencing skill regression, just by having your parents around, just by having a couple of familiar faces, you can actually start to improve and once again learn how to talk again, learn how to form a couple of words. So just having your parents around, or trusted people in your environment, is big for your self-esteem, for your confidence, and just for your overall well-being as an individual. So by knowing this, it's that much more difficult for parents with kids on the spectrum to leave their kids alone, even if they're in good hands, even if they were the trusted family member. Just knowing that you can't be there is not only difficult for you, but also for your child. So shout out to all the autism parents out there. You're probably doing a better job than you give yourself credit for. And in your hardest moments, it's important to remember that.